So this camper is something I bought last summer to take to the VE Pump Dyno event in Plain City, Ohio. It's an awesome camper. It's a 2012 Palomino 1250 pop-up camper, which is one I've always wanted. The problem is over the winter, the roof leaked and it leaked bad. So we're gonna have to get in here, tear it out, figure out what's leaking, and rebuild the whole thing so this thing can be used again. If you're here for the truck content, we are still pounding away on Long Bid Larry in the Ultimate American Truck Build. Look at the interior in Long Bid Larry. This thing is almost done. So let me climb up here and show you what the issue is that we're dealing with. So I don't know if you can see, but there's a low spot all the way right there where that fan is, right in the middle. Like, it is sagged down. So that's been just pooling water and letting it all drain inside all winter. You can see the ceiling's kind of bowed in, and it was like that actually when I bought it, and I didn't think much of it. You know, I realized it's probably not how it should be, but I figured it'd be fine. So all the water has collected in there, obviously, because the top of the roof is bowed in as well. So it collects, came in this fan, got all over this, went down here, got under here. So I've got it all dried out, but we need to figure out and fix, maybe even rebuild the whole roof. So I'm gonna peel back some of this stuff and see what we find in there. I'm not super excited, but let's peel some of it back and see what we can find. So there's definitely, it's moist in here, but it's not actually as bad as I thought it would be. I don't know if you can see, but there's a little bit of mold on this cover for the fan. So this insulation layer is just saturated with water. I mean, if I squeeze it, I don't know if you can see, but there's water like dripping out. Alright, I just made a shocking discovery. There are no supports going across. It's literally just that 1-inch foam. That's the roof canvas, which is salvageable, so I'm not gonna mess with that. That is insane that there are no supports. Shame on you, Palomino. Shame on you. Alright, got all that insulation layer torn down, and that was kind of a pain in the butt, but not too bad. So I'm gonna turn the fan on, open all the windows, and just let this dry out for a few days. And I think that's all the teardown we're going to need to do up here, at least. If you come back here a little bit though, it's bowed almost the whole thing. So I think what I'm going to do is redo that front part, then move back and move back. We'll see. We'll be back in a few days.
Several days later.
All right, it's been a bit. I've done some more work out here, so let me show you where we're at with it. So I pulled the inside roof or ceiling and insulation off of the whole thing. It's all dried out now. And the good thing is these side boards are in really good shape. They still have their curve to them, which is nice. I don't like that this front one is bowed down, so that needs to be addressed. But again, this side board over here still looks really good. I'm just surprised. This 1x2 and this 1x2 are literally the only bracing they had across here in the ceiling, which is kind of a joke. So that's it. So let's get the top pulled off and start redoing everything structurally so this top never has an issue again. I forgot to record taking the roof off, but my brother and I were able to lift it off. Somewhat sketchy, but we did it. So here's the idea we're going with. So we've got 2x2s. It's gonna run down. It's notched out, so it can sit down, and then we'll screw it into this 1x4. And we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 2x2s. And then I'll throw in some cross bracing, but everywhere where there's a vent or a window or something will be pretty much framed out. So these 1x2s are gonna come out. But I'm gonna get all the 2x2s made up so we can put them in there. And we may have to throw the roof on at that point because there is rain expected. So I don't want this sitting out like this, and I don't want this sitting out like that if we're getting rain. If we can get the cross main 2x2s in, we can put it back on. I can finish the rest while it's in there, or while it's on the camper. I got all the cross braces in. Wood glue, 1 1/4 inch nails, all evenly spaced. So I am gonna do braces this way all over the place, but we've got a storm rolling in, and this is sitting upside down and that's sitting open. So I'm gonna try and recruit some help and get this at least lifted back up on there, because I can do the cross bracing, the insulation, all the other stuff with it up on there. All right, we've got all the bracing in, all the way around, and it feels super solid, really nice. And then I undid that bracket up there and took it out and then pushed up on the ceiling there, and then went through my 2x2 into that brace because it was kind of sinking down right in the middle there. So got that taken care of. Let me show you from outside. You can really see the bow we have to it now. Well, I don't know if you can see it, but definitely have a good structure and a good bow to it now. Now I need to get insulation, and I need to connect all the wiring again. I basically just cut it all right at the butt connectors. So I can just basically reconnect them, and that should be pretty easy. But we're getting close, almost there. Oh, also I'm gonna put some bracing up so I can put these cupboards back up. But I'm gonna support them a little bit better than what they were before. My daughters Olive and Poppy helped me cut out all the insulation pieces for the new roof. We test fitted them all in their spots and then pulled them back out and glued them into place. All right, we have all the insulation put in place, glued in with Gorilla Glue, liquid nails basically. That should be good to go. I've got all the wiring hooked back up. Looks good. So, and I bought, see if you can see it out on the trailer right there, 4x8 sheets of the white. It's like a plastic but thin material, so we're just gonna go and a brad gun and hook it to all the beams, make it nice and secure. Making really good progress. This new vent and this new vent are supposed to show up today. You can see I framed this out, so when this one comes, it'll actually screw right into the framing. This, I'm gonna frame it out, but I'm gonna wait till I actually pull the old one off, because then these pieces of old rotted wood will come out. So we'll have another 2x2 right here. And then that fan is staying there. Gotta hook it up, but it just needs clean. But that one, I replaced that pretty recently, so it's newer. And it's a mess in here. We gotta vacuum up. I do actually have new flooring, but I don't know that I'm gonna tackle that yet. So making really good progress on this. You guys probably saw my two little girls out here helping me, so that was super fun. This stuff that I got from Home Depot was perfect for the ceiling in the camper. But I would recommend, if you're going to do this, have two people helping you. As you can see, it was quite a chore to do it all by myself. All right, sneak peek. There's the ceiling, at least kind of rough installed. So all I did was got stainless screws and just screwed it into studs. I'm actually going to add quite a few more screws because I don't want it to sag at all, and I don't care if the screws are ugly. I'm going to paint them white. Yeah, you'll be able to see them, but it's going to be way less likely to droop than what the factory had up there. So, and then I'm going to get transition strips to cover both the seams. Back here we have a seam as well as a little seam right here, and then I'm going to get quarter round trim and run it all the way along the perimeter, basically to make it, you know, to take all the undulation out of it so it looks nice and straight. So that's what we got to do. We got to do that. We have to cut out completely for both, let's see, the vent and the skylight. And then we have to install our lights, one here, one here. We have to hang our cabinets back up, which have lights on them. And then we'll keep going. Then we got to put the canvas back up. So not a lot left. I actually think I'm going to do the flooring too, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But this is coming along really nice. I am very happy with how it's turning out. All right, here's a look. Pretty much all trimmed out. I think it turned out really, really well. So I took all the screws out along the perimeter once I had the trim up. So the ceiling can just basically rest on it. You'll see over here, there's still a few undulations, but again, all those screws are out of the edges, so I'm hoping it'll kind of settle down into it. So we need to cut out the spots for the fans and vents, and then put up our lights, hang our cabinets. Still a lot left to do, but it is pretty sweet how nice this is turning out. It's turning from something where I was thinking of just scrapping it or giving it away to it's gonna be a nice camper again. The tape I'm using here is not just ordinary tape. This is called Eternabond Roof Seal. From the research I've done on these campers and getting these roofs to seal up, this stuff is supposedly the best on the market. With how sticky this stuff is to put down, I'm guessing we'll never see a leak again. We are almost done. I'm waiting for the trim piece to come in for this. That should be easy. The fan, sadly, I threw away some parts of this when I tore the roof out that I needed. I shouldn't have thrown them away. So I can reuse this, but it's gonna cost way more to reuse it and find those parts than it is just to buy a more modern, newer, nicer fan and install that. So to do that, we're gonna have to get up on the roof, cut the stuff we put up there to seal it, take all the screws out, take this fan out, put the new one in, and then we'll be able to come in this side and put all the trim in, and it should turn out nice. You can see I already put the Eternabond down in this spot, but we've got to change this fan out. I was trying to pull up some of the Eternabond and it's just not going to happen. So I decided it was easier just to cut along the seam of the plastic, replace the fan, and we'll double down on the Eternabond when we put it back in. There she is, all taped down, good to go. So let me show you the inside. This fan is actually really nice. So it's got some cool functions that the old one did not have. So here it is. This is basically it finished. I'm still waiting for that trim. The wrong one keeps showing up, so I'm just gonna call it good without that, and we'll get that when it comes. But let me show you this fan. It's sweet. Push a button and it opens up. And then you can run the fan where it sucks air in or blows air out, and on multiple speeds. Pushes a lot of air. And then it's also got a rain sense feature, so if it senses rain, it'll just shut automatically and turn off. Pretty sweet. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That process took a couple months because I just worked on it on nights and weekends when I had time, but I think it turned out really nice. The roof is solid now, it's clean. It just it's usable again. It was not usable how it was, so I'm glad it's done. The kids are excited to take it out, so just got to clean up. Like I said, I'll probably redo the floor, which will be super simple, and then this will be on the truck, go into shows where we take it, wherever. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. We'll see you guys in the next video.